If you're wanting to take your photography to seriously next level, I'm going to share with you some free tips that are going to help you get there. The thing with photography is that just like any other skill, you can actually learn it. Just like you can learn drawing, just like you can learn driving, photography is also a skill that you can actually learn. It is not as rocket science as it may sound like. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to become a professional photographer in 1 year or 1 day or 1 week, but you will really improve your photography skills if you use these free tips. The first tip, start shooting black and white. Now, here's the thing. When you're photographing in color, the color distracts you so much that you're unable to see the mistakes that you're making when you take a photograph. But when you take a photograph in black and white, you are actually looking at the shapes, you're looking at the light, you're looking at the angles and so many other things. And black and white photographs in the beginning might look rubbish, but when you start to improve that photography, when you start to look for better angles, better light, better shapes, then that's how you're going to improve your photography. You're going to improve your angles, your understanding of lighting, and the shapes that can be formed in a photograph. Second tip, start stealing. What does that really mean? If you have a favorite photographer, if you have a favorite music video, if there's a film that you have watched that you really like visually, then start to recreate it. Start to try to recreate those photographs that you have seen, those shots you have seen in a film, or if there's a photographer that you really like their work, try to recreate their work. You won't probably be able to create exactly the same work. There will be some taste of what your style is and what you like. So when you try to recreate a really good quality of work, you learn a lot of skill in that process. So try to recreate, and when I say steal, I mean try to recreate the work that you have seen somewhere and that you really like. The third way you can really improve your photography is by looking at other people's work. So what I mean by that, don't go on Instagram and hunt for photographers, but there are several other websites that only feature professional photography work. Look at the award-winning work. Look at why it has won. What is so special about that photograph? Is it the lighting? Is it the angle? Is it the story that they're trying to tell? Try to read all that, and when you are taking photographs, try to recreate that feeling, that lighting, that color, whatever it is that makes that photograph award-winning. Try to recreate all of that. So look at a lot of really good work. When we look at something, it gets kind of recorded in our brain, and when we are creating, all that memory in our brain kind of helps us to imagine and visualize better. So look at a lot of award-winning work, look at a lot of other photographers' work, professional photographers' work, and that's going to help you improve your photography as well. The fourth thing that you can do is try to find opportunities where you can put your photography skills to use. So if you know a friend who's getting married, ask them, hey, can I take some photographs at your wedding? Not professionally, but just to practice. Or some friend who would be a good model, ask them, hey, can I take some portraits for you? Can I try my fashion photography skills on you? And similar to that, if you look at really good architecture in your city, try to photograph architecture, whatever it is that you enjoy, but try to find those opportunities where you can build a professional portfolio and share your work on the internet, because then you'll get a lot of feedback from other people, good or bad, and that will also help you in learning your photography. Really important mistake to avoid, which a lot of young photographers or beginning photographers do, is that they want to buy the next best camera and they think that the camera is going to improve their photography. It doesn't really work like that. If you have any decent camera, you're good to start. If you don't have a decent camera, if you have a phone which has a decent camera, like an iPhone which has a good camera, Samsung has a good camera, start with that. Honestly, there is award-winning work that has come out of cell phones. See how you go, what you enjoy, and then eventually when you improve, then you can buy a new camera. And if you already have a camera, don't wait for the next better camera. Whatever you have is the best equipment you can have right now. Start with that and start practicing. It's all about how much you practice, not about the camera. And the last step, which is probably the most important, is to start to look at light and how light forms a photograph. Now, this sounds really ambiguous, but what it really means is train your eyes to read the light. Think about where the light direction coming from. Is it a soft light? Is it a harsh light? Is that what is making it look beautiful? Is it the texture? So start reading light in your day-to-day life. If you are walking and you see really beautiful morning light, try to train your eyes to observe light and how light works on different objects, different faces, and different landscape. because then when you'll be photographing, you'll be a lot more aware of how light works. So just train your eyes on how to see light, and that's going to help you in your photography as well. If you have any other questions, just drop it in the comment section below. I try to reply to each and every comment because at the moment I actually don't get any comments. So feel free to drop any comments or any questions, and I'll be happy to reply to any of your questions. You have a good day and keep practicing.